Righty. Alright, so let's talk Sonic Crossworlds, right? So obviously this is the last day of the beta. I'm gonna share some stuff that I didn't want to share prior to the last day, just because I felt like people was gonna abuse certain situations from the game. But let me get started. All right, so let me just minimize this really quickly. Alrighty, so actually, hold on, that was the wrong one. Wait a minute. Actually, no, I'm mistaken. That was the right one. All right, so there's one change on here that's actually incorrect. But actually no, that's right. That's correct. So the image on your screen is basically, it's just showing like in the game where, like, what places that you get the items. Okay, now I wanna try to like just get the point out there, like how to balance the game like correctly to where like there isn't like one single thing that's overpowered, or one single thing that just like the randomness is just extraordinary that you can't do anything about it. So this is how the game is now. The game is the way the game is now. If you look closely, first to third can get those items, second to fifth can get those items, fifth to sixth can get those, seventh and eighth, right? Okay, the problem is there's multiple problems actually. One problem is this fifth and sixth place right here, right? You get the laser wisp that lets you like skip places, right? You skip like 3 to 4 places ahead, and that's very strong for fifth place, because you're like, if you have it, like you get it in fifth place, you pass the fourth place person, you just go straight to first place. Like it just be like that. Now granted, it is distance based, so like you can't just like, it doesn't just automatically go to where the first place person is. They still have to be in the range of the actual move. The second thing is the triple boost. I have no issue with that. I think that's fair. The truck is unfair. Okay, the problem with the truck is two things. Okay, and the first thing is that they did, let me move this mic closer 1 second. All right, sorry about that. But one thing was that in the first beta, basically that was the more of the like figuring out what people like, what people dislike. So in the first beta, like there was situations where like there would be like 6 trucks on the screen, and it's like, yo, like how can everybody get this item? They made it so that in this beta, technically only 2 people can get the item at the same time, right? Which is a good change. However, the thing that's a problem is that it doesn't account for rollback. The netcode, that's just how it is. Like there's rollback netcode. So like one thing can happen on one screen that doesn't happen on another screen. So the game tries to make up for that, but it also is not gonna delete certain things that happen. So if, let's say somebody gets a truck on the first person screen and then they get a truck on the second person screen, it's possible that a third and fourth person could have gotten it the same time as the first 2 people got it. Thus there'd be more trucks on the screen. When normally, like if you're playing like offline, that can't happen. Like it's actually not possible, right? So that's one thing that the game doesn't take into account for. Just going down, the 2 AoE items, the little, there's one thing I would say change about it. The crush thing I think is fair. There's no I don't have a real issue with that. The little thing that crushes you. I'm gonna get to the drill in a second, but the this slime thing, the problem I have with this slime thing is the fact that the people behind you can get hit by it, and I think that's just stupid. Like, they should take that out the game. They should just remove that out the game. Like, there's no reason why, like, even in like any other game, I think, I'm not sure how it works in Mario Kart, it would be like the equivalent to like the lightning, but the places behind you shouldn't be affected by that, because they're already behind you, which means that they don't have anything that gives them advantage over you. They have to catch up. They have to get it. In order for them to catch up to you, they either have to outskill you or get like an item that gives them an advantage. But if your item in front of them is already advantageous, that it puts the people behind you in the worst scenario, it's a problem. Then you got the drill. The drill is basically an all-star, okay? There's a problem with the drill. I'm gonna show you a problem with the drill. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So I paused the music for a second. I want you to pay attention. Just look at the map on the right side of the screen. Pay attention to Omega, okay? Omega's in last place right now. Watch this. There's two reasons why this drill is broken, right? I know what causes that, and I don't know why that's the case. Like, it's kind of stupid. You go here, no, here, no, sorry, not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one. This one, yeah, here. All right, perfect. Alrighty. Sorry about that. I'm gonna edit that out later. But pay attention to Omega. Okay? All right. So, no, I don't think I got the placement. No, I think the video stopped before it. Yeah. So, there's two things that's broken with that, right? First of all, Omega was in last place, right? The first issue with the drill is the fact that you get such an advantage with the drill. Like, you see where Tails is on the map compared to where Omega is. I'm in the middle, right? So doing that, they both have the drill. Amy and Omega have the drill at the end. Watch now. Look at Amy's drill and then look at Omega's drill. That's Amy's drill coming up on me, right? Boom, right? That's her drill. Changes back. Now look at Omega's drill. I hit this move, skip forward, and he's still there, right? The other issue with this game is that when you do certain items, and this is what I was gonna show. I didn't want to show this until now, the last day of, because it's gonna be patched, and I didn't like. If I would have showed it early, then people would have just probably abused it if you saw the video. But basically, if you're on this stage or Metal Harbor and you use the drill in a specific area, the game makes it so that, like, the game won't change you back because you're on a hazardous part of the stage. So the transformation will continue. The auto, like the not the transformation, but the auto movement will continue until it puts you on like a safer path. Because in the older games, when you did that, it's always limited by time. So if you did it and then like you're on like a part where you would drift, you would change back to normal, and then like you would like you'd be in a bad situation, not necessarily because you're still in a good situation because you passed the person, but you also are like you're in a deficit because you're supposed to be turning at this point, but the game's gonna put you straight because that's how the game does it when you change back to normal. But because it doesn't do that in this game, and this is something like they just need to like put it back to the way it was, it makes it so that the transformation lasts for as long as possible until the game decides that you're on like a straight path on a safe like part of the map again. So when you do that here, this is what happens. You get a character that can use an ability and literally jump half the stage. There's another video coming up next that I'm going to show you as well that like is even more crazier, but I found this the next one, but I'll get there. But it's just the fact, look at where he is on the map now, right? And this is where he ended up. This is when he changed back like right here, like right around here. Look at how far that is. That's more than half the map, bro. They like it needs to be on a timer. It has to be on a timer if you want to balance it correctly. That's number one. The second thing I'm gonna show the second clip. This is something I discovered. Do not abuse this, please. I mean, well, you can abuse this today because I'm pretty sure this is gonna be patched. But let me see if I can find a clip. Okay. All right. So I'm Tails, clearly. This Tails all day, every day, right? I was gonna fast forward, but the thing ain't working. So, all right, it's final lap, right? I get hit, whatever, green stuff. Don't care, right? We do shortcuts all day. Which, by the way, that's another thing that should absolutely. The problem is like you can't nerf it. Because if in order for you to nerf that, those speed shortcuts, you would have to change the entirety of the maps entirely. Like I don't think Sega's not willing to do that. Like it's just sorry. But also another thing is like the boost isn't as strong as it was in the old games. So like if you was Sonic, that's what it was. And now I was thinking about the first game, Sonic Sega All-Stars. There was 4 stats. It was speed, handling, boost, and drift, if I'm not mistaken, right? Boost was always like exactly what it sounded like. It is the power of your boost, like how strong it was, but it also accounted for the item. So if you use the item, like the boost would basically like the stronger your boost is, the stronger the item was too. Whereas in this game, it's not like that. Like the boost has a set speed that it's only additional depending on how many rings you have. But other than that, it's just up to the character and the board that you're playing, like an actual stat of the boost, rather than like just having strong boost increases everything boost related. Like that, it doesn't work like that in this game. But check this out. Right? I got hit. So what? Watch this. You see how broken that was, bro? You see how broken that was? Now I don't win the race because I got hit right there. But like, this is what I'm saying. Like, granted, the warp panel was like atrocious in the first beta, so they did nerf it. This is gonna get nerfed, obviously. But like, and by the way, you can only do this trick if somebody's in front of you as well. So if you're in first place, you can't even do that. I use the warp panel. I'm gonna get to the builds later on because I actually made this build. But let's see that one more time. What? And then of course the speed shortcut. If he didn't have it right here, he would have lost. But I do, one thing I do like about that, at least it goes to show that like you can hit a character and they still have a chance to beat you. But at the same time, that's also rollback. So everything that just happened is actually delayed on each other's screen. So me hitting him was delayed on my screen, and him hitting me was delayed on his screen. So he probably hit me earlier than that, like when I turned, but I didn't get the damage until a little bit after that. So that's just how the game goes. But do I think the warp is broken? Not at all. I don't think the warp is broken, because before in the first beta, the warp actually used to always put you, I think it was like 2 to 3 places ahead. And then you can also do stuff like that, right? Whereas this one, it makes it so that it's always the person in front of you. And that like if you do it on an empty part, it just maintains your max speed for a second, and then you go back to normal. And then when you go back to normal, it resets your speed. So you're not at you don't come out of the warp at max speed. For example, let me just rewind shortly. Right, you see the speed is the speed coming out the warp. It's supposed to be 245. That's my actual max speed, right? But then coming out of there, when you start like this, it resets. Now, my build is actually crazy. I'll get to that in a second. So it's not gonna seem like that, but it normally does. You can only do this with Tails, by the way, because it's Tails. Like the speed thing I'm talking about. All right. So, right, this is basically how the items are in the game. I was at the drill. The ghost, they obviously buffed it like crazy. Like it's actually unavoidable now, which is insane. And it gets to my balance list later on. And then the Dark Chow is actually both a good and bad item. What it does is it shuffles everybody's items. So if you have items that you're holding on to, it's gonna shuffle that. So that may be a bad scenario, and then the other scenarios, it gives you items, so it's pretty good, right? So it's actually if you're in this place, it's never a bad item. But if you're 5th and 6th, it'd probably be a bad item. But you still can get the same thing again, so it doesn't really matter. But this is how I would fix it. And by the way, the 3 items on the top, 1st through 3rd can get those, right? But this is how I would change it as soon as I can find it. All right, cool. Let me remove that in the background. All right. So how I would change it like this. 1st place needs to be able to get that shield more often, because it's in all the other games, you always had the green rocket to defend yourself, and then other than that, you always had I think it was, I'm gonna say it was either the boost or a shield, but that's how you would defend yourself when you're in 1st place. I put the Omo Chow there because the Omo Chow is it's that nothing item. It's the most least effective item in the game. It gives you rings, however, essentially it's an item skip. You get rings out of it, but you miss an item. That's basically how it works, right? But the little trap thing, the spike ball, it's useful. It's useful because you can use it to block, right? So 1st place should have block items, right? Now the shield is actually the best item because it actually blocks everything. But the problem is, because the ghost exists, it's the only thing that could block the ghost, and that's a problem I have with it. And well, besides the truck, but you're not gonna get, if you're in the truck, you're not getting hit with the ghost, right? Truck and the drill, you're not getting hit with that ghost. So I would say the shield item right there should be you should get it like if these 3 items were in first place, I would say you get the little spike thing like 50-50. You get the Omo Chow like maybe like let's say like 30%, 30 to 40%. Let's say 30 to 40% of the time, and then the shield, since it's so strong, maybe you get it like 25% of the time. But in first place, you should have it. Like, you should be able to have it, and like you're not completely like unaffected, because like if they see you, you gotta preempt the shield, because if any of these items like the Ninja Star, any attack items, if the person is close enough to you, you can't react. So you gotta kind of preempt, use the shield. So it's a skillful item, is what I mean. So I think that's the best item to have first place. Like these 3 are the best items for first place. Second and third place should be able to get all of these items. I dislike the fact that the green rocket here is it's a lock on in this game. I think that's just unfair entirely. I think that like that item should be treated like how it used to be. Like it was the equivalent to a green shell in Mario Kart, where you had to basically just aim. Like you couldn't just, oh, you're on the screen, I'm gonna use this button and it's just gonna hit you. Like I think that's just broken. Like it's a little crazy. The bomb, obviously the bomb is good. Get it to the higher level, it becomes extra good. The boost, the wisp here, as a boost, I think that's fine in second and third place, because that's how it used to be as well. You used to have the people behind you was able to get like just a small boost to at least have them catch up to somebody in first place. But there's a slipstream in this game. Slipstream is like, it's similar to turbulence in Sonic Riders. It's when you're behind somebody and the game will boost you slightly faster than them. Now the game is I'm gonna say it's a bug. The speedometer, the thing in the bottom right corner of the screen that shows you how fast you're going, when you're in split stream, it doesn't show that you're going faster, but you actually are going faster. Like it's very noticeable. But it, like, if your regular speed is like 200, and then you do the slipstream, it will still show 200, but you're actually going faster. So. Then you got the magnet. I think the magnet is fair. That's the same thing. Used to have, I think, like a lock and chain or something like that in the past games. This wisp, I think it's called gravity or force or something like that, or space maybe. I think this is perfect for second and third place, because it blocks the people behind you from getting items to catch up if you use it correctly. The item boxes do respawn like extremely fast in this game. It's like not even a second. It's like probably like 0.3 of a second. So it's very hard to miss it. But I think this item does a good job in doing that. And then you got the tornado shield. Tornado shield was actually nerfed from the first beta. It actually gave you the same. It was like it blocked one attack no matter what it was. Now it doesn't block the attack. It just hits everything around you. That's all it does. It will hit like a rocket if like somebody shoots a rocket and you do that. It will hit them because tornado will get hit first and block it, and then it will disappear after the one block. But if it's something like the ghost, for example, that like the fire is not like a projectile item, it will hit you. It will also it can't block the crush thing. It can block the green thing. But I don't think it could block the crush thing. I forget if it can or not. That boomerang thing is super broken. Like it's broken because the closer you are, the faster it goes off. That's number one. The other thing is it deletes your item that you have, and like you can't boost to it, and you can't use like the rocket to attack back at it when it's on you. I think that's something that maybe they should implement. Have it to where like if it's on you, you can react with a attack item like fast enough and it'll break it. You know, not a trap item, like an attack item. So only the rockets and probably maybe yeah, let's leave it only the rockets. Only the rockets would be fair. Put the Dark Chow in middle place just because again it's both a good thing and a bad thing. So I think for the middle place it's fair. The green thing, perfect for that place, but I also still want them to nerf the fact that if you get it in fourth through sixth place, any of the places behind you shouldn't be able to get hit by it. Only the places in front of you should be able to get hit by it. The laser wisp, it's fair from 7th to 9th place because it boosts you up, let's say three spots. So, and again, it's still distance based, so it's not guaranteed to do that. If the highest place is way far ahead of you, it's not going to do that. It's just going to boost you up a little bit. So I think that would be fair if you had it. I'm sorry, hold on a second. I'm just getting a slight headache. Ugh. I think I was just talking too fast. I'm sorry. But yeah, I think that would be fair. The ghosts for 7th through 9th, I think that's fair too, because it actually is not stronger than the 2 items below it, because it only hits the first place person, and the second place and behind can actually avoid it. And it also doesn't give, like, it gives you an advantage because the first place person got hit, but it doesn't give you advantage against everybody else in front of you. They will all have to be clumped together in order for that to happen, and it's not very likely that will happen. Like, this most of the time, like somebody's gonna be on the left getting hit while a bunch of people's gonna be on the right and then go through it. So like that's just what that is. I don't know why my track just froze like that. The 3 wisp boosts, I think that's fair, because the shortcuts are like, because of how strong they are, I think it's fair to have that back in that place. What's funny is that you could do that one shortcut and be in 7th place and go straight to first. That's how strong it is. So I think it's fair to be there. The crush thing, self-explanatory. I just think it's a fair item overall. It hits everybody aside from you. Excuse me. It doesn't hit anybody behind you. And then the drill, the bottom 2 are basically all-stars. Like, they shouldn't be in any place higher than they are at all. They should fix the drill thing where like I just showed you in that clip earlier. They need to fix that. Other than that, the one thing I don't like about the truck is the truck is equivalent to invisibility. However, it gives you a speed boost, and that I don't like. I think it should have just gave you invisibility, like the equivalent to the invisibility. If you hit somebody, like, you can't get hit, and if you hit somebody, they're hit heavy, like it's a heavy hit. But giving you the speed boost, I think is too strong, because it gives you the ability, it gives you the same ability as the speed boost, with more perks added on top of that. I think it's a little OD. It's crazy. And then the last thing I wanted to show, let me find where it is first, while y'all enjoy the music. I think I found it. Hold on. Okay. Here we go. All right. So I'm gonna show you some builds to finish off the video here. These are builds that I'm using. You don't obviously have to use these builds or anything. I just think these were really, really good builds that I had. So I'm gonna start with the first one. I'm gonna tell you like builds and what not to do. after, because I tested these out. All right, so this first build, this is a speedster build, speed machine, whatever you want to call it, right? I'm gonna say not to use this build because, well, the bottom half, okay? The bottom half makes it so that the items you get are speed-based items. But what I found out in the game is that the speed machine kit also makes you get speed-based items majority of the time. So there's no point in equip. Like, you can equip both. If you equip both, it makes all the items you get speed items. All of them. All of them will be boost. All of them will be trucks. All of them will be drill. Anything that is speed-based, it will give you. But obviously, it won't give you a truck or drill unless you really losing. Also, it also gives you laser as well. That counts. And yes, it does give you warp. If I didn't have the speed machine in the first thing, it would give you warp as well. That's considered a speed item. But I would say not to use it just because the bottom half, I think it's enough to just have the first part. It does the same thing that the bottom half does. Second thing, this is my build. This is the build I like the most, like in terms of like just playing the game. Speed kit with triple item. This triple item, by the way, this is the level 3 one, where every lap you also get an item. So you hold 3 items and then every lap you get an item. It also does something else that you're probably not aware of. And what it does is if you get a double item capsule at the same time you get a single item capsule, you get all 3 items. So that's a perk that it actually gives you. So it's strong. It's strong. And the reason why I like it is because I'm usually in first place. So if I have triple items, I basically am able to defend myself more against items. That makes sense? So if you pass me, I have a rocket. If you shoot me, I have a rocket to defend myself. It gives you more trap items, stuff like that. And then because I have the speed kit, at least one of the 3 items is usually a boost. So that in itself is good. The next one, everybody knows this one already. This is the one that's most played online. This the drift let's call it the drift build, I guess. You pick extreme build and it basically makes you drift. It makes you drift maximum, like really fast. They did nerf one thing from the original beta, and it could still be in the game, but it might be in the game as a different item, where if you move left and then you move right, it automatically filled your boost to the next level. So you would just do like 1, 2, 3, and then 4 would be like the ultimate drift, and then you would have it. Whereas here now, you actually, even though you have quick charge, you still have to build the meter up. It isn't instant. And then you also had a perfect release as well. It's in the game as well, where perfect release actually is somewhat slightly better than the ultimate charge. It's not better than the level 4 charge. However, it makes your level 1 charges like level 2s. It makes level 2s like level 3s. But the level 4 charge is its own speed, so it's always going to be the highest speed, so it doesn't really affect that. But if you wanted to have one or the other, it would do that. If you don't have ultimate charge and you put on perfect charge though, it won't make your level 3 stronger. It'll just be level 3. Let me correct that. It'll be stronger, but it won't be as the strength as a level 4. If that makes sense, there's more clarity of it. Let me see what else I had. Oh, don't do this. Don't do this. Here's why not to do this. You're like, oh, why not to do this? It's quick recovery and it's the acceleration build, which also protects you from impact. So it's gonna be like absolute defense. Reason why not to do this is because the acceleration, the built-in impact resistance outshines the quick recovery because of the fact that you also have high acceleration. So if you get hit, you're accelerating immediately after you get hit. You're already back to where you was gonna be. Whereas quick recovery, it's the same thing. If you get hit, you recover faster. So that's regardless of your acceleration, you're still gonna be back to where you're gonna be. Them stacking on top of each other makes no sense because you're still gonna be the same distance with either or, if that makes sense. It's like I get hit, I'm still gonna be the same steps ahead, which even if I use one or the other. So both at the same time makes no sense. It's the same outcome. And then just correct it. This is my build. This is the Tails build. The Tails build basically max acceleration, and the goal of the build is simply you're in first place and you just gotta defend yourself. If somebody pass you, you get boost. You get boost to basically jump back to first place. You get I put the slipstream here because it actually helps because Tails is not a speed character, but the split streams make him go faster so that he can catch up to a speed character or catch up to like a boost character that's using like extreme gear, for example. Then the warp starting with it is really good, and then also the fact that it just puts it as a categorized item so you can get it. So any item capsule can also give you another warp. That automatically shuts down the boost gear. Well, any weapon, any item shuts down the boost gear. The boost gear gets hit the hardest. But that was pretty much it. I didn't mean for this video to be a 40 minute long video. But yeah, I just wanted to share, like, I think this is what they should do to adjust the game. And I'm sure they'll probably adjust the game when it comes out, because there's always going to be that one broken build that people are going to abuse. Like right now, for example, the build I just showed you a second ago, the boost build, it's not even done. Like the actual finished game has like level 2s and 3s of like boost upgrades, so you could actually put your boost to the max. There's also a boost kit that you get, which I believe, don't ask me how I know this, but not only does it gives you max boost, it also makes it so that your air tricks gives you the same the same priorities that a drift boost would give you. So it makes that build really good, but you won't see that until the game comes out. And then there's, of course, we know Supersonic is a character, so it's still unknown whether or not Supersonic has a how you call it, like, how in the first Sonic Riders, Chaos Emerald is actually like a gear, like you equip the Chaos Emerald and then turns you into Supersonic when you're playing Sonic, but it's actually its own like custom gear that actually gives Sonic the ability to have flight, speed, and power at the same time at the cost of using rings for air. We don't know if it's something similar to that in this game, in the example that Supersonic may be like, he may have his own machine or his own gear set that you can't change. It's a very powerful setup, but it's only exclusive to him. So it's possible it could be like that. Most people are saying like he might be a separate character entirely. That's possible because they did nerf. They have to nerf Metal Sonic. Metal Sonic, if you didn't know, Metal Sonic in the first game, he had the highest stats. Like all of his stats were maxed out because he was a DLC character, and like if you picked him, you were basically cheating. Like that's just how it was. Even though like you couldn't beat me with him because I'm just that good at the game. And then the second game, Sonic Transform. Oh boy, was I was god at that game, man. My main character was Riala. he used to do this taunt. He used to be like, "You cannot win." I still say it to this day. He used to be like, "You cannot win." I used to like smoke people at that game. The third Sonic racing game, which was I think called Sonic All Star Racing or something. The problem with that game is like everything was good except the catch up mechanics. The catch up was so broken in that game, and that's what I hope that they like dial back on in this game. Like the slipstreams is, I think it's a little fair. I just think it's either too unfair or it's too good. Like it's one or the other. It's like, all right, I'm behind you. I'm a slow character, but now I'm faster than the fastest character. Whereas in other areas, it's like, well, I'm behind you, but like it makes no difference because like we kind of really the same thing. So as soon as I passed you, it's gonna slow me down anyway, you know. So it is what it is. But yeah, if you list things that you want to be changed or balanced when the game comes out, let me know, because I look forward to like just having a balanced game. That's what made the first game so good. Like the first game was so balanced to where like first place was playing like the defensive game, where the second place was playing the catch up game, and then the other places was playing like the item game, like trying to destroy first and second place to be able to beat them. And I like that. I love that about the first two games. It was just really good like that. And then one more thing, the next game, the next Sonic racing game, because this ain't gonna be the last game. The next Sonic racing game, I hope, this is just my hopes that Sega does. Sega, if you're listening, please. Right? I hope they do a combination of this with a combination of Sonic Riders. And I don't mean just the extreme gear. I mean like how in Sonic Riders you had certain stages where like certain characters were more advantageous on certain stages because you had like the grind area was better or the flight area was better. Maybe the power character shortcut was better. I hope they bring that back in the next game where like you make something that only speed characters can do, something that only acceleration characters can do, something that handling characters can do, power characters, and what's the last one? Boost. Like something like that specific types of characters can do. But also keep the stages somewhat randomized to where like you don't see a stage and just be like, oh, I'm gonna just pick this character. Keep it like this game, like where you see 3 stages and it can randomly pick one of the 3 stages. So you're not really picking a advantage build, but you can still customize it to where maybe you could give a power character the ability of a flight character with the cost of something else. Oh, and bring back rollerblades and motorcycles, mopeds, the crazy taxi car, the flying carpet. Bring back all that stuff. That stuff was cool. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna end the video right here. So it's already almost more than 40 minutes long. But yeah, man, let me know, please.